How can we become wealthy, popular, and influential? This is the life lesson we'll learn from the 26th Nakshatra of Vedic Astrology, Aśvinī, the Twin Horsemen. In this series, Life Lessons of the Vedic Nakshatra, we'll discover how life really works by exploring the 27 constellations through the mystical Sanskrit words of the Vedic Nakshatra Sutra. Welcome to the 26th out of 27 installments on life lessons that we gain by studying the Vedas through Taittiriya Brahmana, one of the important Vedic texts. The section in Taittiriya Brahmana is called the Nakshatra Sutra. It's a collection of 27 lines describing the nakshatras of Vedic astrology. And by studying the sutra, we get a very authentic view of what the original conception of these nakshatras was by the sages who envisioned them. And we also learn a lot of Vedic wisdom about life in general. So without further ado, let's listen to the Sanskrit, the original language of Aśvini's Sutra. Aśvinī Rashvayujya Brahma Purastad Sena Vostad Aśvinī Rashvayujya Brahma Purastad Sena Vostad Aśvinor Ashvayujau Grama Parastad Sena Vastat. Twin horsemen use twin horses to get soldiers from the city. So you got four basic words. These four words are Aśvina, Ashvayuj, Grama, and Sena. You got the first word is Aśvin, right? Ashva is horse. Aśvin is somebody who possesses or has horses. It's Aśvino in this sutra because that means that there's two possessors of horses, two horsemen. And so it's referring to the gods named Aśvinī, who are twins. Now, horses, what does that mean? What is it symbolic for? Having horses or being Aśvin means being endowed with power, like horsepower. Having power, having energy, having strength, having resources. And in fact, that's exactly what the Aśvin gods do. They bestow horsepower to humanity. The benedictions that they give are benedictions of wealth and health, so that you have more horsepower to enjoy your life more fully. The next word is Ashvayuja. Now, Ashvayuja in the old days was the name of the nakshatra. So Ashvayuja means like a saddled horse, a coupled horse, a horse that's yoked to a chariot, a horse that's ready to go. So it's a nakshatra that's about horsepower, which means health, wealth, opulences, and it's a nakshatra that's about being ready to go, not hesitating. Then the third word, grama. Grama is very ubiquitous in all the modern Indian languages as well. Grama means a place, but not just any old natural place, a place that's inhabited, like a village or a town or a city. So what the sutra is saying, it's grama prastat. The nakshatra needs grama. It relies on grama, depends on grama. So that means that the horsemen, they want to ride into cities. They don't want to ride out into nowhere. They want to ride to a city. Why do they want to ride to a city? Well, they want to get resources from the city. Because that's what Aśvins are all about, getting wealth. So what kind of resources does a city have? Well, that's the fourth word. The fourth word is Sena. So Sena means a person who takes orders. So typically the word is used to refer to a soldier. Now, in the sutra here, it's plural, so it means soldiers, lots of them. Lots of followers, lots of soldiers. That's what an urban area has. The main resource of an urban area is that it's got lots of people. Right? So what the horsemen want to do is they want to go someplace where there's lots of people. That's what the sutra is saying. Why? So that they can get those people to follow them. So the basic deal going on here is you got this word Aśvinī, that's a horse owner. So that shows that the nakshatra wants to amass ashva. It wants to amass resources, wealth, power, horses. Then the other thing the sutra mentions is that it uses the horses, ashvayuja, which means that this nakshatra actually likes to show off a little bit, or likes to use its assets, or it better uses assets. That's what it has to do. It has to use its assets. To use the assets of wealth and power, and think about a horse. A horse is very strong. A horse is very beautiful. So if you're strong and beautiful, you want people to look at you. So that's why they go to the city where there's lots of people. So Aśvinī has a requirement of an audience. It needs an audience. Then it shows itself to the audience with the motive of getting them to love me. Because when they love me, then they dedicate themselves to me, and then they become part of my wealth. They become my followers. They become part of my army. Okay, so now I'll say a word or two about using Aśvinī for interpretations, considering planets that occupy it. Aśvinī is healthy, wealthy, and powerful, commanding. If you go through your planets, you'll have some planets that are healthy and beautiful, wealthy, like Venus, but they're not powerful in a military way. So like Venus, Mercury, Moon, Jupiter, they have health. Jupiter has health. Mercury has wealth and beauty. Moon has wealth and beauty. Venus has wealth and beauty, but they don't have power. Like commanding macho power, leadership power. Whereas you got planets that do have that macho leadership power, like Sun, Mars, Rahu, but they lack on beauty or wealth or something, or health. So there isn't really a planet that's an exact match with Aśvinī, but what you should consider as the basic theory for your interpretations of planets in Aśvinī is that the planet occupying Aśvinī will give the sort of prosperity and wealth and fame in the area in which it focuses. So for example, like Venus would give a lot of beauty and make a person likely to be renowned or influential or popular because of beauty. Mercury, wealth. Mercury and Moon kind of similar. A little bit of beauty and wealth mixed. Venus too, a little bit of beauty and wealth mixed. Jupiter, more about health, especially reproductive health. Whereas like the Sun, Mars, they're not going to give the beauty and the health. Maybe the Sun a little bit for health. Rahu, no. But they're going to give power. Sun will give great leadership in Aśvinī. Mars will give a lot of courage, bravery to go anywhere. And Rahu gives a lot of fame. Okay, so the two remaining planets then are Saturn and Ketu. We haven't discussed them. The thing about Aśvinī is that it's quite materialistic. It's an externally oriented nakshatra, not an internally oriented one. It wants wealth, beauty, fame, prestige, so it can enjoy life. So Ketu and Saturn, therefore, are a bit clashing with the nature of the nakshatra. So when you have those two planets here, particularly Ketu, you can expect to make some type of interpretation revolving around the fact that materialism and spirituality are going to clash in the person's life. So now, let's finish it up and talk about the life lesson. The life lesson that Aśvinī Sutra teaches us is all about how do you become wealthy, popular, and influential. So let's see what the sutra is saying. It's saying there's some horsemen. The word for horseman is Aśvinī. It means possesses wealth. In the sutra, they're Aśvinī. It means they have some wealth already. And what do they do in the sutra? They use that. They use their horses, Ashvayuj. They're using their wealth to generate more wealth. So now, if they didn't have any intrinsic wealth at all, they wouldn't be able to do this. They'd ride into a city, nobody would pay attention to them. But they're Ashvins. They already have some beauty. They already have some wealth. They already have some renown. They ride into a city, people look at them, and it multiplies their beauty, wealth, renown, etc. So similarly, if you want wealth, you need wealth. If you want prestige, you need some prestige. So you may think, well, that sucks because it's a catch-22. I don't have it, so I'm never going to get it. And a lot of times we feel very impoverished. We feel worthless. We feel like we don't have good qualities. But the Veda teaches you that the fact is everyone, everything is a manifestation of divinity. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mata sarvam pravartate. Bhagavad Gita has Krishna saying that everyone and everything is a manifestation of him in some way. So there's no doubt that everyone and everything does have some inherent asset. Everyone is an Aśvinī. The thing is, you just need some positivity to be able to accept and recognize the asset that you do have and not focus on the ones that you don't. So you need that. And the other thing that you need is courage. Courage to use it. Because that's what the Sutra is saying. It's using the word Ashwa-yuj. If you want to make your Ashva have more Ashva, you better use it. You better use that. So in other words, if you want to become more wealthy, you better use your wealth. If you want to become more famous, you better use whatever fame you have. How? Not out in the middle of the desert. Playing your piano wonderfully in the middle of your room, in the middle of the night, is not going to make you famous. But playing out in the park, at least playing the subway, going at least, getting on a stage and playing in front of people, that's the way it's going to happen. Right? So you need to go into the grama, the place where people congregate. So if you're too nervous or too shy, if you don't have courage, then actually you might as well not have any assets if you're too nervous to show them when the spotlight comes to you. If you're not willing to actually be a leader, show that you can lead, show that you're the best at something, show that you're great at something. Maybe not the best, but great. If you're not willing to show that when somebody's looking at you, then you can't expect to be an Aśvinī, a horse rider leading a train of army, leading a charge. You can't expect that. If you're not willing to ride out in front, then you can't expect to lead the charge. You can expect to be in the back. Okay? So you have to, one, recognize the talent, the asset that you do have, and two, have the courage to show it. Then the result of that, the result of recognizing your assets and showing them, is that you will attract Sena. Sena means followers, Sena means soldiers, to your army. Now, that's really important, because what the planets in Ashwini show, and also the fact that the Ashwinis are twins and they have twin horses, these two facts show something important, that no solitary single individual could possess all the wealth. If you want to become really healthy and wealthy and beautiful and prosperous and influential, and wise and all those things, how does one person get them all? In fact, Parashara defines the word Bhagavan as being the only person, the only being, the only entity who possesses all of those opulences in full at the same time. So besides Bhagavan, of whom there is only one, nobody else singularly possesses all opulences. So it's important that you use whatever opulence or wealth or asset that you do have to attract other people to join you, because we need the resources and assets and talents that those other people have. We need to combine with those, right? So that's the key. That's how the cycle of Ashwini works. You find that one talent or asset that you have, you show it to attract others to you who are lacking that asset, but have other assets that you lack. And then they become followers, and you work together on a team to direct an army towards conquering a goal. Don't miss the life lessons from the other 26 star clusters of Vedic Astrology. Subscribe to my channel now. And keep your ears up for announcements about the release of this book and the next online classes about it. Thanks.